Hello. Oh shit, I forgot to test everything. There you go. Yeah, I wasn't gonna go live tonight, but I got like an hour to kill before the game, so figured I'd come hang out for a bit. I figured I would just go live for like I don't know. I just I figured I'd go for like an hour and 15 minutes or so, just kind of hang out. I don't know. I was bored. Who do I think is gonna win? I think the Chargers are gonna win, but I always think the Chargers are gonna win. So not a very good question to be asking. Yeah, OG. Yeah, I haven't been there in a while. So I haven't been on that specific spot for a while. Why is it not letting me do this? Sorry. It's actually a really good thing I came on tonight because it is being very, very strange today. It's been strange for a minute. I don't know. I guess we're gonna play around with it for a bit. See what happens. Yeah. Yeah, I just figured I'd come hang out for a bit. I know it's just not normal time, but yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a conversation or two for an hour. Who knows? Who knows? Anything is possible. Anything is possible. I don't know what any of this stuff is going on. Well, welcome on in, everybody. We're just getting having a little fun to start the live out. Oh, are we having fun yet? I don't even know if anybody's gonna show up. We're super early today. I'm trying to figure out. I was seeing something about stickers and we'll have some fun. We're a little oh my god, it's like hurting my eyes today. Ugh. Oh, Chargers are playing the Vikings tonight. They're playing the Vikings. We haven't been playing very well, but what's going on, Ogden, Chester, Demi? Like I said, I'm not expecting everyone to even be here. I know it's early. Alan, me, how you guys doing? I don't even know who's gonna show up today. Like I said, I'm an hour early, so we'll see what's up. Carson Wentz starting for the Vikings scares me a lot more than JJ McCarthy starting for the Vikings. So, to be completely honest with you, it is all going to depend on whether Joe Alt starts tonight. But that's literally all it's been. Have I seen the White House's website? No, I have not. Is it good? Should I go there? Should I take a look? Which is www.whitehouse.gov. Well, this is interesting. This is new. This is new. I guess this is what they've been working on. You know, while the government's been shut down. I can throw it up there for y'all so you guys can see it. Move that over here. View the list of private and foreign investments. I do want to click on that. I do want to click on that like really bad. Let's see. All right, let's see. It says I can view the list of private and foreign investments fueling America. The Trump effect. Since President Donald Trump returned to office, his America First economic policy has sparked trillions of dollars into investments in U.S. manufacturing, technology, and infrastructure. Trillions. He might as well be the freaking Austin Powers dude. Billions of dollars. It's gold. Oh, this is good. This is good. We can break apart these real quick. No Artismo. This is not how the White House website used to look. UAE foreign investment, $1.4 trillion. I believe that is like 6 times the annual GDP of the UAE. Or maybe it's 3 times the UAE. Qatar, I think it's like 5 times or something. Let's see. I'm curious. Let's see. UAE annual. I can't type today. Annual GDP. Let's take a look. All right. So the annual GDP of Qatar of UAE is $537 billion. But apparently they are investing $1.4 trillion into the United States in manufacturing and industry. That's pretty impressive. Hey, guys, you got to give it to them. You got to give it to him. All right. He has gotten the UAE to invest more money than they have. And anybody who can just make money appear out of thin air, okay? Like you guys, see, this is the problem with you lefties, okay? This is the problem with you lefties, okay? All right. You don't give credit where credit is due, okay? Trump could cure cancer and you wouldn't give him any credit for it. Okay? And see here, Donald Trump has made money that doesn't exist appear and invest in the United States. Okay? He has literally taken money that does not exist, thought it into existence, all right, and then had that money invested in the United States. Crazy. So, I mean, round of applause, right? Round of applause. I think we should thank everyone for these, for the wonderful job, you know? Oh, what are we what are we doing here? I see. I'm curious. Qatar's annual GDP, $218 billion. And they have invested $1.2 trillion. They have invested 6 times their annual GDP. Okay. 6 times their annual GDP. That is impressive. Look, and if you add that in with he's going to be lowering, where are all the stickers for do I not have stickers anymore? Have they taken away my stickers? I didn't even know they took them away. On top of that, he is reducing pharmaceuticals by 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, 1,600, 1,800, 8,500%. 97. I think that now Tylenol, okay, like Tramadol, like prescription Tramadol, is going to be reduced 47,000%. Okay, every single time you buy Tramadol, okay, the makers of Tramadol have to give you $1 million. Every single time. If you go to the hospital, they prescribe you Tramadol. Now the makers of Tramadol now have to give you $1 million. A dose, by the way. A dose. Each dose. Okay. Philly, thank you so much for all the pumpkins. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So it is going to go. That is how he's going to fix the healthcare system. Okay. That is how he's going to fix the healthcare system. He is going to, every time you go to the hospital, the pharmaceutical companies have to pay you. And I think that's just impressive. And while doing all of that great work, okay, he is suing the Department of Justice. Okay. He is suing the Department of Justice, who he runs, so can decide whether they settle or not, for money that you and I are going to have to pay. Just a reminder that he is currently suing the Department of Justice, and when the Department of Justice decides what they do with the lawsuit, Donald Trump runs the Department of Justice. And then the American taxpayers will literally have to pay the bill for the lawsuit. Just a reminder. So, for you people that are big Trump supporters, I know that probably means nothing to you. You probably would just love to give your entire life savings to Donald Trump. For us with, all of the brain cells that are firing simultaneously, okay? That's fucking crazy, right? That's fucking crazy. Anyways, y'all, come on in. We'll see if we can get to a couple phone calls. I'm only gonna debate for about an hour or two. So what I need from you, or for an hour or two, for about an hour, just maybe a little bit more. So come on in. We're gonna do a few debates. We're gonna have a little fun, I think. We have some conversations. Get this going for about an hour or so, and then I'll go watch the Chargers game. So This is a surprise live, y'all. I was not supposed to be live today. I am doing this surprise live for an hour. So y'all come in, support the live, chat in the comments, say something, do something. Something, do something, shake your tail feather. Do something. Oh, shit. I also still can't pin GIFs over on TikTok. I don't know what's going on. That's still all screwy. I still can't do that, but I'm pretty early because I'm not supposed to be on today because of the Chargers game. So I'm really just on for a bit until the game comes on. So by the way, I have found that if I scroll through lives, I do get invited up on MAGA lives like quite a bit. They just invite me up. I don't even have to be there. So what I've started doing is just screaming at them. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Not like screaming like in like a conversation type of thing. I literally just scream at the top of my lungs for as loud as I can. And just see what happens. It's actually very nice to like let off some steam after you're live. You know what I'm saying? It's very nice to like just let off some steam because I get screamed at all the time. And sometimes it's nice to just go into theirs and just scream. You know? So if y'all are out and see me around on a live and I just am screaming, mind your business. Okay?
Insane.
Mind your business. I'm letting off some steam. Okay? It's very cathartic. Insanely. All right. Well, with no Trump supporters seen in my TikTok chat, no Trump supporters calling in right now, I'm just gonna keep bullshitting. Maybe we'll call in eventually. I think the algorithm's thrown off by my timing over here. Jen, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I said I thought my night was going to suck without your stream. Thank you for the awesome surprise. I really appreciate that. Big W's in the chat for Jen. Hopefully, at least the shorter time frame that I'm on tonight is at least somewhat helpful for you. So I do appreciate that. Ooh, what is going on here? There we go. Thank you so much, Jen. I really appreciate that. W's in the chat for Jen. Anywho. Has anybody's allergies just been freaking flipping out? I want to explore this whitehouse.gov thing more. Japan, $1 trillion foreign investment. Oh, I got to throw this back up here. Japan, $1 trillion foreign investment. Hope he knows that that's a... Oh, shoot. Now I got to switch back over. Stupid. That's a loan, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know that. Hello. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 29.
Awesome. You still support Trump?
Yeah, I still support Trump.
All right. Are we going to talk at this speed the whole time?
No, I just answered your question. I just told you I support Trump.
Awesome. Why?
Well, I have good reasons. The first reason is that he's been doing good so far. Recently, he just finally brought a peace deal between Hamas and Israel.
Incorrect. Neither of those countries have signed on to a peace deal, so that would be incorrect.
I mean, they released the hostages. You can
that's excellent.
Give them credit for that, right?
They did release the hostages. I think that's awesome. That's not a peace deal.
And do you give him credit for releasing the hostages?
I give him credit for freaking putting screws to Netanyahu for the first time. Should have done that a year ago, but either way.
Something that Biden didn't do.
And something
Yeah.
Trump hasn't done over the last year either. So it took long enough, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, at least he got it done. It took Biden he didn't even get to that point. It took him 4 years. I think
It took him
I mean-
4 years.
It probably would have taken more years to get to a settlement.
It probably
Or,
would
yeah.
have taken maybe more years to get to a possible settlement. What is that? What does that mean?
No, I mean to get to
Biden had a
like
whole
a
bunch of
peaceful-
hostages released under him too, right?
Yeah, and if you know anything, the
Actually-
war escalated under Biden.
Well, the Ukraine-Russia war has escalated under Trump, but I do believe Biden actually had more hostages released than Donald Trump did.
Oh, congratulations to him. He had 4 years. He could have just stopped that at any time.
He didn't have 4 years. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm saying that the war, as soon as Biden became president, I mean, I would hope you would know.
You do realize that the October 7th attack, the one that escalated this war, didn't start when Joe Biden took presidency, right?
I mean, I'm talking about not the October 7th.
The war's only been going on for 2 years. Well, then why are you talking about the hostages?
I'm talking about the conflict, the Hamas and Israel conflict.
The Hamas and Israel conflict, which like starting when? Starting 100 years ago?
No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is like Biden. It was under Biden that the conflict started.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't under Biden. Biden wasn't the president of either of those countries.
It doesn't matter. He could have resolved the issue before it
How?
escalated. Or, I mean, he.
So how
shouldn't
could
have been
Donald Trump?
funding-
So how could Joe Biden have stopped Hamas from attacking Israel?
Easy. He could have just stopped funding Israel with all the military weapons and all the
So
like,
if
money,
Biden had
billions and billions
stopped
of
funding
dollars.
Israel, Hamas wouldn't have attacked Israel?
I think it would have stopped it from getting escalated for sure.
That doesn't even make any sense. Or you said he could have prevented it from happening.
No, what I'm saying is he could have done a better job by not funding.
How? Is Donald Trump's
By
funding
not-
Israel?
Yeah, because right now it's in a deep end. It was in a deep end, and
It was
due to
escalating this
Biden.
entire year. What are you talking about?
What I'm saying, it was in the.
I'm going to
deep
move on to the
end.
next caller.
Like,
I don't know what you're talking about, and you seem to not be very good at this. Anyways, have a good day, okay? All right. Hello. I was just waiting for another caller to come in because I don't know what the heck he's talking about. Hello. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
Jesus. Okay. How old are you?
I feel that it is irrelevant.
All right. Well, you don't have to be here either then. But if you're going to be
This is
here,
true.
it's relevant.
This is of my own free will. I just
No,
would like to say
Sir. How old are you?
that doesn't matter.
All right. Well, then have a wonderful day, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. We're just going to move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. I really appreciate that. Guys, I'm not going to force you to say your age on here, but if you're going to be on the live, you will say your age because I have terms of service, okay, to abide by. And that requires that the people that are talking on this live are over the age of 18. So you can get upset with it all you want, okay? Take that up with, any of the sites or whatever, but, not my problem. All right, we're going to keep this thing going. Really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. First of all, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's literally the easiest question in the world to answer. Literally the easiest question in the world to answer. But when you refuse to answer it, I assume you're just like a teenager or something. Which, like, go to sleep or something. I don't know. What time is it? Wherever you're at. Go to sleep. We're going to keep this thing going. Like I said, I'm on super early. So I think most of my people are just not quite here yet because I'm an hour earlier today. But I hope we get some calls in, get some guests in here. It is strangely slow tonight, though. But I think we'll get this thing going really, really, really quickly. So I appreciate that. Hello, how are you?
Sucker cock.
Yours or too small? Yeah, I said I wasn't going to be on. I figured I'd get on a little early, have a little fun while we're here, but we'll see. I'm having fun. I don't care. I'm having fun, and I'm going to get off of the Chargers game regardless. So, don't matter to me. Yeah, it must have been too small. All right, y'all. If you say I still support Trump, go ahead and hit that call in or hit that guest request button. Either way, and if not, then I'll just be in on Saturday. Honestly, I'll just sit here and BS with you guys. It don't bother me at all. I don't even need to talk to anybody. I'll just sit here and BS with myself. I'll take your guys' comments and questions and concerns. If we don't get any callers, I don't care. We just hanging out. But come on in and chat. Say some stuff in the chat. Again, my chats are very, very dead right now. So if you guys would like to help me get better conversations, then make sure you guys are saying some stuff in the chat because that helps push it out to the algorithm. And when it's pushed out to the algorithm, I have a better chance of getting callers. So thought I'd throw that out there. Bro, I know, Hype Man, I know you're out there. Okay, I know you're calling. I'm not looking for you right now because I don't have much time on live. All right? So I do appreciate it. You're saved. I know what your phone number looks like. I do appreciate you, though. Dude, I saw the funniest video. I might just play you guys a funny video, actually. What if I can pull it up? I was pulling up stuff. I was looking at something earlier, and I was dying, dude. I was laughing so hard. Ugh. Shoot. I actually don't know if I can pull it up that way or not. I actually don't know if I can pull it up that way. I might have to pull it up a different way. One sec. Let's see. Maybe I can do it this way. Oh, Tim, thank you so much for the 100. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry, that was a noise I'm not used to hearing. That was a noise I wasn't used to hearing. I was like, whoa, what's that? I forgot I'm back on Twitch again. What do I think about the demolition of the White House? I think it's sad. But remember, you don't do renovations on a house if you don't plan on leaving it. So, can't say I'm surprised either. You know what I'm saying? I swear this is the longest I've gone without a call on a live in so long. I'm like almost confused. It's funny because a lot of times I'll actually want to be talking about stuff. And I have all this stuff to talk about, and then the calls start, and I'm like doing something, and then now like nobody's calling. It's so weird. It's so strange. Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
I'm in my 50s.
Awesome. You still support Trump?
Yes, I do. I voted for him every time he ran, and I think he's a great president, and I'm happy with him.
What makes him great?
Well, he sorted out our intelligence agencies, the CIA, FBI, and got them on track. Same with the military. He got them focused on their mission. I like the price of energy being lower.
Price of energy is up like literally across the board. But what do you mean he got our intelligence agencies on track?
Well, prior to Trump, and even when he was in office the first time, they were involved in politics. They're involved in spying on campaigns. They were involved in censorship.
Hold on. Where were they involved in spying on campaigns?
Well, they spied on the Trump campaign for one.
Who did?
Okay. The FBI.
Where's the proof
and
of that?
And the CIA. Oh, my goodness. I've been listening to you, and I know that you know better.
I don't know better.
Okay.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, well,
Truly,
okay.
You're making it
listen,
sound
you
like
do know.
Watergate,
You
and
do know.
No, I don't.
And
So
there is
what are you
evidence.
talking about? All right,
Okay,
then where can I find this
all right,
evidence?
Tell me this. Why is John Brennan indicted?
Who?
Okay, for lying about this. You don't know who John Brennan is?
No idea.
Okay. Well, are you familiar with President Obama?
I am familiar with President Obama. Are you going to provide me with any evidence that this is happening at any point in time? Or are you just going to ask me a bunch of, if I like know a bunch of people,
you can
like
look it up,
this is a Grindr
you're,
account?
You're being disrespectful to me by acting like you don't know this stuff.
Sir, can you hear me? Oh, okay. I don't know what the hell he was talking about at all. Okay. It's pretty sad to just come up here and just yell stuff, and then I ask an actual question about it, and you're like, I don't know what you're being disrespectful for not knowing stuff. By the way, I don't think that guy is indicted. I know like pretty much all the major politicians that are indicted right now, and Brennan, former CIA director, hasn't been indicted. Okay, well, I guess that solves that. I don't know. Maybe tonight's just maybe tonight's like a good night. Maybe tonight is just showing there's not that many Trump supporters left anymore, which is good. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to say real quick, I do not support Trump. I'm 21 because I answer a simple question, but I wanted to show you my appreciation of what you're doing. I think it's pretty fucking cool.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that, man.
I was going to say this, though, real quick. There is a peaceful protest that's said to take place at D.C. from November 20th to the 22nd. If you got to look into it more, I don't have much information on it, but that might be something else to press as well, so that it's not just talking to MAGA, but it's also trying to get people ready for maybe we got to be more democratic, maybe we got to protest more, maybe we got to be louder, but we got to do something.
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
I appreciate you for doing something, man.
I do appreciate you also. Thank you so much. And yeah, we definitely are getting out there, especially after last week of the No Kings protest. So awesome stuff. So I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day.
I was at the one in Indianapolis, actually, with my girlfriend. Yeah, no, there was more than 100 people there. I know that. It got up to like 8,000. And then I think there, Fort Wayne, all the way in Greenwood, too. There was people everywhere. It's just, change is going to happen. It's got to.
Oh, it's happening right now before our eyes. Trust me. All right. Well, you have a good one. All right, man.
You stay safe, brother.
All right, man. You too. Bye. All right. Well, I guess that solves it. There's no more Trump supporters out there. They're all gone. They've all disappeared. They finally seen their ways. They were like, nope, I can't support Donald Trump anymore. It all changed from last night. Isn't that great? I think we won now. I think that's what happened. All right, y'all. Well, I don't know what to do. I'm very confused. I figured I was coming on here to do a freaking nice fun live and debate for like an hour. But it's been completely down today. I don't know what's going on. So just kind of strange. But anyways, whatever. What do you guys want me to do? You guys want me to hang out? You guys want me to answer questions? Oh, I'm pretty sure it's just because I'm on early. That's all it is. My phone wouldn't stop blowing up last night. I doubt they freaking went all the way today. I like to count my phone calls. I think I had like 250 phone calls last night or something. Bring up Dave. Where is Dave? Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right. How old are you?
26.
Awesome. You still support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why would you do that?
Well, I like the MAGA movement. I believe that it's an America First movement. I like how he tries to keep this nation a Christian nation or uphold Christian values for the most part. I like that he's giving power back to the states.
Awesome. Let's talk about a few of those things. How is giving $40 billion to Argentina in the middle of a government shutdown America First?
That's an excellent question. I don't agree with everything he does.
No, I'm not asking you to agree with everything he does. You said he's America first, so I'm questioning how he's America first by doing that.
Yeah, well, that one I can't explain away, but some of the things that are America first that he's done, I do like.
So
how
he's not
trying
America
to-
first. He's just done a couple things that are America first. How about all the cattle farmers or cattle
Wait,
ranchers
hang on a second. You can't just straw man one person.
No, actually, I was moving on to the second one when you just stopped me.
Okay.
But I can go to like 4 or 5 more in a row if that's helpful. How about the fact that he's having to bail out our soybean farmers because he's completely taken them out of business? How about the fact that cattle ranchers in Nebraska are now going out of business because he signed a huge beef deal with Argentina, which is going to completely reduce the price of cattle in the United States, especially in places like Nebraska. They're going out of business. How about the fact that he's freaking given a whole bunch of resources and stuff to the Middle East and places like Israel and Gaza, creating an entire peace board? That is literally the entire job of him running the Middle East instead of being here. How about the fact that he won't negotiate whatsoever or even meet with any of the minority leaders of both houses of Congress in order to try to get this government, unshut down? How about the fact that his tariff policy is isolating us, economically, making prices rise across the board? How come they're making freaking, those same tariffs are causing job loss across the entire United States, where we're seeing the lowest job numbers since the shutdown of COVID and the highest unemployment rate in 4 years? I could go on for quite a long time. I don't need to straw man the argument. I was just asking you about one specific thing because I figured it was easier to concentrate on. But would you like to address all of those?
You're more prepared than I am. I don't have the time to. I do this for a living, so I can't refute all those pieces of.
Okay, well that's why I kind of just go with one. But
if I had information as well, I could have, But
you mean if you would research your own stance?
Well, I do research, but
Then how was he America first?
Well, for example, I do like I like the fact that we are securing the southern border. We are getting criminals and such out of our nation, and that in theory would bring back some jobs back to the U.S., right? And also lower some taxes that we have to pay to like healthcare for illegal immigrants, so on and so forth. I also think that illegal immigration, just a problem in general. I feel that illegal immigration, really who it really hurts is people who came here legally to begin with.
Okay, so
my wife,
just
for
out of
example,
curiosity,
is a legal
before we dig into immigration, do you have a single stance outside of immigration that makes Donald Trump America first?
Yeah, we could talk about those, but
No, I'm just wondering if you have a single one, because I'm going to show you how Donald Trump's immigration policy is in no way America first. I just want to make sure you don't have any other ones before we go past that.
let's just do one thing at a time. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. We're going to do one thing at a time, but I want to know if you have anything else from Donald Trump that is America first before we move into that more in depth.
Off the top of my head, not that I want to discuss right now.
Okay, gotcha. So I just
Go
want to be clear that you say that Donald Trump is America first, but the only thing that you have is not his overwhelming domestic policy, not his overwhelming economic policy, not his foreign policy. Nothing that Donald Trump does whatsoever is America first, except for what you consider to be immigration, when immigration is not helpful to that whatsoever. But let's also be...
foreign policy, he's never had a new war start under Donald Trump.
He literally has had like
I will say
3
that-
in this term. So that's not
Which
true.
three?
How
Which
about
three?
the fact that we attacked Iran?
That's not a war, though.
Donald Trump called it a war. Donald Trump called it the Donald Trump called it the 12-day war. He said that he is solely responsible for stopping that war. Okay, so if Donald Trump calls it a war and says that he's responsible,
from happening.
no, not stopping it from happening. He's saying he ended it.
Yeah, he stopped it from happening.
No,
Totally.
not stopped it from happening. He's saying
ended it
he
before it
ended
began.
it. No, sir,
he ended it
sir.
before it
If
began.
we're bombing Iran, it's already started. Okay.
I mean, what do you want us to do?
Sir, I'm not saying what I wanted. Sir, we're not talking about whether I wanted him to do it or not do it. Donald Trump cannot claim that he ended the 12-day war if that 12-day war didn't start while he was the president.
All right, if you think a war
You
is
don't
12
get
days,
both
then
sides.
Sure.
Okay? And see, here's the funny thing about that one, right? Is that
Go
war, U.S. troops actually attacked another country. Where the wars that you give, that people put on Biden, U.S. troops didn't attack anyone. Actually, U.S. troops didn't even fire a single shot. But regardless of that, let's get back into immigration. How much money did undocumented immigrants pay in taxes, state, local, and federal taxes, in the last tracked year, which I believe is 2022? Might have been 2023.
I don't know. Go ahead. I feel like you're about to tell me.
Just under $100 billion. Okay? 22 million into Social Security, tons of money into taxes. And how much money will it cost the American taxpayer to deport 14 million immigrants?
How much?
About $2 trillion.
Okay.
So when you
Well,
said
what
it's
would-
bringing
what
back
would-
money that we have to pay into taxes, that's not true at all. Actually, undocumented immigrants cost in that same year, cost federal tax dollars about $34 billion, right in that range, right?
Right, but 34 billion over the course of X amount of years, compounded by additional illegal immigrants coming into this country, that number grows exponentially year over year. It does eventually surpass
34,
the $14
no.
trillion dollars.
Sir, 34 billion that it cost us, $100 billion that they paid in that same year. Well, just shy, about 97 to 98 billion. Okay. So to calculate that, that means by deporting them, we would be losing the $60 billion that they paid in taxes.
Illegal immigrants are paying
Council for
$100
Immigration
billion
Studies,
in taxes.
Pew Research Center, freaking, I can name about 4 actually. CDC does tracking on that. Yeah.
Could you repeat those sources again? Or-
Council for Immigration Studies and Pew Research Center were the first two off the top of my head.
That's interesting. Why would an illegal immigrant pay taxes, especially if they're undocumented? They have no incentive to pay taxes.
Well, let me ask you this question, sir.
How would the IRS even track them and force them to pay taxes?
Yeah, you do realize that
Especially
you do realize that Donald Trump specifically tasked the IRS, the ICE, to go into the IRS and take IRS information in order to find undocumented immigrants, right?
Okay, continue.
So not only are they paying taxes, Donald Trump knows they're paying taxes, so he's using their tax data in order to find them.
Interesting. Okay, that's for you're saying doing that for all of them, or
I'm not saying every single one of them, sir. I'm saying as a
the
whole.
majority?
I'm saying as a whole, they pay more in taxes than they take out every year. Okay, so we're not saving money by them leaving. They paid $22 million into Social Security, and they're not eligible for Social Security. Okay, in that one single year. Okay, that's money that people in the United States, American citizens, elderly people can use, right, for their Social Security, which is starting to fade, that will no longer be there.
Agreed.
Okay. Yeah. So not only are we losing the $60 billion a year that they're paying in federal taxes in excess, right, in net, right, but also we're paying trillions of dollars to get rid of them. So we're getting hit twice. So how is it America first to lose money, lose taxpayers that get no benefit, and also spend money to get rid of them?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Based off those numbers, those are great questions. And based off those numbers, I would agree with you. But I don't know. I haven't seen those sources myself, and I would like to see. I'm going to read those later, look into them, see what I think about them. But
let's add to that. Let's have a little more fun with you. You want to talk about job numbers? Currently, with the last job numbers we had, or the last like 2 months, 2 months ago.
No,
or so,
I don't want to talk about job numbers. I know the economy. It's in a tough
No, sir.
place
We're just
now.
talking about immigration
exactly.
still.
Okay, go ahead.
We're not even in job numbers. By the way, the fact that you know the economy is in shambles and you just want to talk about immigration shows that you don't really care about
well, now
fucking.
You're being hyperbolic. I didn't say shambles. I said it's in a tough spot. It is. I mean,
it's in shambles. Okay, but the current jobs that are open in the United States is pretty even to the amount of jobs that are amount of unemployed people in the United States. So if we got rid of all the immigrants, we would just have more open jobs than we have people to fill those jobs. How is that good for America?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, the amount of open jobs in the United States is pretty much equal to the unemployment numbers in the United States. All right. So if we got rid of undocumented immigrants, then we would literally lose people in those jobs. So we would have more open jobs than people to fill them. How is that good for the United States?
So you're saying that current unemployment, right? The number of people who are unemployed who are able-bodied to work is equal to the number of available jobs on the job market, right?
Correct. I mean, I haven't looked at I'm not sure about the September numbers, but the July and August numbers, yeah.
Okay. Well, no, that doesn't sound great. I have to agree.
Yeah.
It does not sound great.
So getting rid of all these undocumented immigrants would create a space where we have too many open jobs in this country. Now, that we have too many open jobs in this country and nobody to fill them, so that would be bad for our economy. We're losing a bunch of free money that they're paying into taxes that they get no benefits from, and it's costing us a whole bunch of money in order to do all of that, right? So none of that is America first, sir. And I'm just, just being honest with you. All right.
I hear you. I do think though that it does cost Americans jobs though in instances with legal immigrants. I also think that, in many cases, like I live in California, for example, in many cases, there are certain parts of a city, right, that are like solely Spanish speaking. I think in a lot of instances they come here and they don't learn our language and they don't adopt our not culture, because America has a lot of cultures, but like ways of life to a certain degree, right? I do think that we do need immigration to a certain extent, right? Like it's good that if the best from other countries want to come here and contribute to this country, that's good in the long run for this country. That's how this country was founded, as a great group of people migrated here in the 1700s and founded the United States of America. But I don't think that any type of any type of immigration that is, there's no regulations on it, people are just coming through, they're not able to track all of them, there's crime, some of them are criminals and dangerous to American citizens. I just think in general, for the safety of our nation going forward, that's something that needs to be shored up, and we especially need to get rid of those who are illegal that are here with criminal histories.
Well, so I'll agree with you that we should totally get rid of criminals. I have no problem with that at all. The problem is that Donald Trump's, was it Vice Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller? Is that his title? I forget. The huge racist dude. Anyways, he works in his White House, specifically directed ICE to stop going after criminals and start going to Home Depots and Cardenas markets. Okay, he told them to stop going after criminals, and less than 15%.
That's a quote or a
yes,
report?
That is a quote. I can pull it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he told them. See, that was the problem, is that ICE was specifically going after criminals, right? They were going after cartel members. They were going after human traffickers. They were going after drug dealers. They were going after the people that I think you and I can both agree should be locked up, should be not just deported, but locked up and then deported afterwards, right?
Yeah, not locked up here though, because then we have to pay for their stuff. And
so we can't force.
Have you heard of Joe Christmas, by the way?
Sir,
I don't want to pay for iPads for them.
Yeah, sir. What I'm saying is they don't need to be on the streets, okay?
Yeah, agreed.
But instead of going after those people, the Donald Trump White House is directing them to stop using their resources to go after them and to go after the most innocent people that they can find, the easiest targets of people that they can find. All right. So if you want to say that we should have ICE going after criminals, I have no issue with that. But that's not what Donald Trump is doing. That's the problem.
He's not saying going after like the easiest people who have affiliations with these criminals, because that wouldn't make sense. You wouldn't want to go after them.
Less than
criminals are usually
15%.
very isolated, insular.
Sir, Donald Trump is using IRS data, okay, to go after immigrants. Okay. So people who are literally in this country working. Okay, ICE data. Okay, Donald Trump is going to immigration court hearings to arrest migrants. Okay, people who are trying to do things legally, who are trying to do things the right way. He is showing up at people's place of work. All right, in order to go after undocumented immigrants. All right, he's going after workers. He's going after farmers. He's going after people in construction. He's going after people that pay taxes. He's going after people who are doing things the right way. Okay. So I don't know how
okay, they might be doing things the right way now, but they didn't really do things the right way because they did come here illegally, right? They didn't go through the whole thing of
so that's fine,
and all that. Like,
so you have no problem with our resources being spent on people who are living their everyday lives, going to work every day, paying their taxes, trying to do things legally. You have no problem using our resources to go after them instead of cartel members and human traffickers and drug dealers.
Well, no, we should prioritize the cartel.
But Donald Trump's administration is not.
Then I can't speak to that.
But Donald Trump's presidency is not doing that. They are specifically instructing them not to do that and to go after those other people.
As of when? Like when's the date on that quote from, what was his name, Stephen Miller?
You want me to pull it up? It's not hard to find.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
What date would be really good for you?
there's not a date that's good for.
Then why does it matter
like,
what the date is?
Well, just because this doesn't seem like not that I'm not saying that what you're saying is untrue. It just seems like not what's being reported currently.
No, it's being reported.
So,
Not being reported by who?
By a lot of news sources.
Like who?
I don't listen to CNN. Like like Fox News.
Nobody should listen to CNN.
Oh wow. Okay, we agree on that. Yeah, they suck.
Dude, no, they're like the most failing
Fox
news agency.
News is
You
a
know,
joke too. To be fair.
on
Fox
May
News is
20th,
also
2025, Stephen Miller, the architect of Trump's immigration policies, called ICE's top 50 field heads into Washington, D.C. Miller claiming they're and eviscerated everyone's. You guys aren't doing a good job. You're horrible leaders. He just ripped into everyone. He had nothing positive to say about anybody. Shot morale down, said the first official, according to the reporting by Anna... I can't pronounce your last name, from the Washington Examiner. Stephen Miller wants everybody arrested. Why aren't you at Home Depots? Why aren't you at 7-Elevens? In response to pushback from one ICE official, Miller said, "What do you mean you're going after criminals?" Miller's got into a little bit of a pissing contest. That's what Tom Homan says every time he's on TV. We're going after criminals. The ICE official told Miller, according to the first official reporting by the Washington Examiner. In January 2025, a week after Donald Trump took office, administration officials directed ICE officials to aggressively ramp up the number of people that they arrest from a few hundred per day to 1,200 to 1,500, reported by the Washington Post. That came after the president expressed disappointment with the results of his mass deportation campaign.
Well, I would say that based off that quote, like without the context is, we're not in the room, so we don't know body language and tone are like 80% of communication. I will say that where he says, "What do you mean we're going after criminals?" That could mean that like in the eyes of the administration, everyone that came over the border illegally is a criminal because they did a criminal action. They came over.
Actually, it's a civil infraction, not a criminal
Well,
action.
okay. Either way, they broke the law, right? They broke the law, okay? And so, to that extent, I do agree. That he's not saying to prioritize regular people. I didn't hear that.
No, he is. And actually, ever since that day, they have been prioritizing regular people. So you could say that all you want, but literally after that meeting is when they ramped up deportations, okay, on regular people. So you can say that you can try to read some read something into it all you want, but literally ICE took it exactly the way I'm saying it because that's what they did.
So that you're saying they've arrested no criminals since that meeting?
Of course they arrested some criminals. Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
That was pretty good. A blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again. All right. Okay, what's the next thing?
What do you mean what's the next thing? Why are we talking about this thing? Why are you supporting a Trump administration, okay, who is literally ripping people that are doing working every day, taking care of their families, doing no wrong, trying to do things the right way, going to immigration court hearings, trying to file all the correct paperwork, people that are doing all of those things, okay? Why are you okay with those same people being ripped out of their houses, ripped out of their freaking workplaces, zip-tied, ripped away from their freaking families, thrown in the back of vans by masked agents wearing no badges, and sometimes being deported to countries that they're not from, in some cases being sent to inhumane detention centers or to prisons in other countries? Why are you okay with that?
They broke the law. They came here illegally.
So do jaywalkers. Should we send them to foreign torture prisons?
Well, no, because those people have due process because they're American citizens and they have rights.
Everybody in this country has due process, actually.
Well, technically, it only really applies to American citizens.
No, technically, according to the Constitution, I don't know if you're a big fan of that or not, but according to the Constitution, it does not matter whether you're an American citizen or not. You get due process, actually.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, you have a lot of facts and information I'm not privy to.
No, sir, I'm not asking you for facts or information. Sir, I'm not asking you for facts or information. I don't even care about honestly, we're not even talking about the law. Why are you okay with people being sent to torture prisons, being treated inhumanely?
In what way are they torture prisons? What torture prisons?
Because CCOT is a literal torture prison, and millions of tax dollars are being paid by the U.S. government to El Salvador, okay, to freaking house migrants who have been convicted of no crime, and literally El Salvador brags about how much they torture people in it.
So you're sending the people from El Salvador back to El Salvador?
Nope.
and
Actually,
they're
most of
going
them
to
aren't
jail?
from El Salvador.
Most of them?
Yes, most of them.
I don't know if I believe that. I mean,
You cannot believe it all you want.
all right.
But I'm not asking you to believe it. I'm asking you what you feel about it.
Well, if all your information is true, right? I'm not saying that you're like trying to lie or be disingenuous or anything, but those are your sources, right? And a lot of data is presented. In
Hold on. Don't play this like it's your sources or my sources. It was a federal court judge. Trump administration was actually sued for sending them to this prison. The federal court judge said that they weren't allowed to send them to this prison, and the Trump administration did it against a federal court judge order. Let's not try to play this like it's some like, oh, you heard it from here, I heard it from here, or whatever.
I'm not trying to play any game.
The Trump administration lawyers admitted to sending them there against the will of the court.
That sounds bad. Flat out. It doesn't sound
So
good.
why are you okay with this?
A lot of this information I'm hearing for the first time.
Well, that's fine. Well, then I will ask you this, sir. Can you
All right.
please do some research before you're just supporting someone? Because let's be honest, and just this isn't even me being rude or anything like that. Okay,
All right,
you're
well.
calling Donald Trump
You haven't been rude, by the way.
Yeah.
You haven't been.
Oh, I'm saying what I'm about to say. I don't
I
mean
don't think
for
I
it to
have been
be
either,
rude.
by the way. If
I don't
have
believe
been,
you
I'm
have it
sorry,
all,
but-
sir. If you're going to
Okay.
say Donald Trump is America first, just because Donald Trump says he's America first, okay, then maybe you should do some research, because anybody can say they're America first, but Donald Trump's policies have benefited really two groups of people. Okay.
Yeah.
One, the American ultra rich.
Mm.
All right. And two, everybody but Americans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I will say to this point, like to your point, I will say like you follow things like a little bit more closely during like election cycles, right? And I think like a lot of people vote, like myself in particular, right? Like, I work 2 jobs, I have a wife and a child. I don't really have time to and own a home, right? I don't really have a lot of time to like do all this as much research as I would like to do, right? So when you're voting, right, like, or in my instance, when I was voting on past experiences. I was thinking about, when was my life like, I hate to use the word easier, because I don't think life is supposed to be super duper easy. Like, you're supposed to have challenges and learn to overcome them. That's part of being a mature adult and stuff like that, right? That's life. But when my life was less stressful, maybe especially from like a financial standpoint, would have been when Trump was in his first term versus Biden's term, right? Biden's presidency. So that is how I voted. And then, once the presidential election and the presidential cycle ends, kind of check out a little bit, go back to living and trying to be an adult again, right? To a certain degree. But yeah, I will do that. I will do
Sir,
some better research.
just thought I'll let you know this too.
I
Okay.
appreciate
Two real quick things. One, I also work and have a kid and have a partner. I have all of those things also. Okay.
Right, but you do
Yeah.
this is like, you make
Yeah.
money from doing this, right? This is more.
I do make some, sir, but I do have a full-time
Yeah.
job, and I still have full-time bills, and I still have a house and all that sort of stuff. Okay. So if
Absolutely.
I have time to do it at this level, then you have time to do the bare minimum. Okay.
Well, how
just
old is your
just-
child?
14.
Oh yeah, see, that's a little different. My child is an infant. They run
My child was an infant before. Okay, so
Right,
she
but
she
your
had
child was an
she
infant
had
a decade ago.
she had to
You know?
be she had to be an infant before we got here. Okay, and trust me,
That's
I
true.
promise you, having a 14-year-old girl is a lot more stressful than having an infant. Okay, I'll promise you that. Okay,
Well, that
But-
I actually will agree with.
but
I had 3
second
little
of all-
sisters, and they become
but second of all,
more
okay,
difficult.
Donald Trump's first term was so great because of Obama's policies that had been going on for a long time and carried over into his. His policies drove us into the giant inflation that we had, okay, and the super high gas price that you blame Biden for. Just because a president is the president doesn't mean that their policies are the ones that created things. And it's important to know the difference, which is why it's so important, because here's what happens. Okay, what happens
Well,
is
hang on, isn't that transitive property? You can say the same thing for Trump's presidency right
I can
now
say it
too,
for
though,
every
right?
presidency. I can say it
Yeah,
for every
absolutely, that's what I'm
presidency.
saying, yeah.
But sir, what I'm saying
agree.
is, see, you don't see what I'm saying, okay? What I'm saying is, what you have to know is the importance of which policies from which president have carried over, which ones stopped at a certain point, which ones are from the last presidency. Okay? And you have to know the difference between those. Okay? Not every Biden policy is still going on from Donald Trump right now. Not every policy was stopped from then. Okay? And understanding which ones are which are important to know which actual president is good. Because if not, you end up voting for someone like Donald Trump, okay, who, let's just be honest, the last 10 recessions in the United States have all happened under Republicans. And you vote for Donald Trump even because his stuff was good, even though it was Obama policies that got him there. Okay? When you could have voted for the policies that actually helped the economy to get to what you want, but you just were just like, oh, well, Donald Trump must be president. He must be doing anything, but he wasn't. Okay, except for driving our economy into a very, very bad spot, which you're about to see over the next few years. So hopefully this time you'll learn. Sound good?
Sounds good. I appreciate the conversation. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good. Thank you.
Well, I hope you have a
Sorry I
good day, all
wasn't
right?
Prepared. Yeah, you have a great day as well.
Hit that subscribe button. I'll get you more
Well.
prepared, man.
All right, sounds
All right,
good.
man.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, everybody else hit that follow and subscribe button also. We got time for maybe one more before the Charger game starts. Maybe one more. Maybe one more before the Charger game starts. VJ, thank you so much for the $3 super sticker. I really appreciate that. Rongo, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says compassion is only extended if the person extending has or can feel the pain of that person. May God have mercy on their soul. I believe that would be what's called empathy. And I believe people like Charlie Kirk and JD Vance say that doesn't exist. At least for them anyway. Whitney, thank you so much for the 900 jewels. I really appreciate that. Miguel, thank you so much for 500 jewels and all the other ones that you've sent to. I really, really appreciate that. Y'all, if you'd like to support the live, I really, really appreciate that. Super chats are open. I like to throw them up in between callers. This is a surprise live that we're doing. This was not planned. We're just doing a quick hour live. So your support means the world to me. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And more importantly than all that, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're going to open up these phone lines for one more caller before we get to that game. So thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate y'all. Oh, it's not ringing yet. There's a whole bunch of calls coming up in this. I thought it was going to ring immediately. Y'all, we are going to be off tomorrow. For sure off tomorrow. Okay? And we'll be back on at 10 a.m. on Saturday. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that. Also, make sure, again, you guys are subscribed across all platforms. That really does mean a lot to me also. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. How old are you?
28.
Awesome. You still support Trump?
Yeah, I do. I
That's
have
a
a
little
question
weird,
for
but
you.
it's okay.
Did you say that it's not a crime to enter the country illegally?
It's technically a civil infraction, but yeah, I mean, that's a crime. Same way jaywalking is a crime. Same way speeding is a crime.
Okay, so why did you correct the last caller when you said it was a crime?
Because it's technically a civil infraction.
It can also be a civil infraction, but it's also a crime.
Or did you waste all of your time to come up here to yell about semantics when I already agreed with you?
Well, you corrected the last. I mean, we can talk about something else, but you also corrected the last caller when you didn't need to correct them.
Okay. I'm correcting you now, and I don't need to correct you either.
You're not correcting me.
I am, actually. Yeah.
And what
Because
was
it
your correction?
is a civil infraction. Okay?
It's also a civil infraction. But
I said
also
it's
a crime.
technically a civil infraction.
No, technically it's both.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe familiarize yourself with the U.S. code.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with the U.S. code, and U.S. code under freaking Title 8, which is what this would be under, calls it a civil infraction, okay? And only after the second time does it punishable under an actual criminal title, okay? Which would actually make it a crime. So that would actually take a repeat
we can go
thing.
through it line by line.
No, I really
We can
don't,
go
because
through-
I have 13 minutes to be here, and I don't have time to go through legal code with you. Okay? Which
Okay,
is why
well,
I don't
if
want,
you
which is
did-
why I'm already tired of hearing this conversation about your semantics, okay? Because I'm very familiar with
semantics
it.
is very
So-
important. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I wouldn't. Not in this
Well,
case.
That's a silly position to hold. Anyway, you were.
Well, I think
incorrect
your
to
position is a silly
correct
position to hold. Okay.
me. Well, I don't think you've demonstrated that.
I don't need to demonstrate it. Because silly
anyway,
would be
if you
something that
wanna-
would be opinion, which would be subjective, and I don't need to freaking substantiate a subjective opinion.
What was the subjective opinion?
Can you substantiate that my point is silly?
Well, I think I demonstrated it by.
Can you
explaining that
substantiate it?
Yes, the substantive backing behind that is that you corrected a caller with an incorrect correction.
And how does that substantiation make it objectively silly?
I didn't say it made it objectively silly.
Oh, so it's subjectively silly.
Yeah, I don't think I
Okay.
disagree.
You see how this is a waste of a fucking conversation? And you see
No, I
how
don't.
everybody on
I think it's
everybody out
helpful
there,
that you're-
sir, do you see how
I think it's
everybody
helpful-
out there is now dumber for now hearing this conversation?
Well, no, now they know that when you say that it's not a crime, that they know you're lying.
I didn't say it
So
wasn't
I think
a crime.
that's actually very helpful.
Did I say it wasn't a crime?
Yes, you did. You said
Okay.
no, it's not a crime.
No, I
It's
did
a civil
not. I
infraction.
actually did not.
All right,
I
you
did
can
not
play it
say
back.
at
It's all
any
good.
point in time. Yeah, please go play it back for everyone out there. At no point did I say it was not a crime. He said it is a crime to enter the United States, and I said technically it's a civil infraction. I did not
And
in any
technically
point in
it's both.
time. I did not in any point in time say it was not a crime. You should go play it back, or maybe get your ears checked or your brain checked. I don't really care which one. Okay.
Oh, they're all running.
Now-
They're all running at high
Yeah.
speed, baby.
That's usually what stupid people think. Now, would you like to move on with this conversation? Because if not, I'll just move on with someone else. Because honestly, this is
Yeah,
pretty
of course.
boring. Cool.
Also, just calm things down a bit. That's a fire jersey, by the way.
All right, awesome. I'm calm as a cucumber, okay? If your fifis are hurt, okay, then go see a therapist. BetterHelp, maybe.
All right. Anyway, you want to continue the conversation? Go ahead.
Not particularly, no.
I thought you just said you wanted to.
No, I wanted to move on to something else, but honestly, you've drugged this part of the conversation on so long that really you're like, even having a conversation with you is kind of annoying.
All right. Cue the hang up.
Are you hanging up? You don't have to
This is usually
say,
when you hang
sir,
up.
you don't have to say cue the hang up. You can just hang up.
This is usually when you hang up.
You're doing great at this, by the way.
Whenever you want to keep going, let's go.
You're doing great at this. Maura, thank you so much for the
Thank you.
$5 over on Venmo. So thank you, Paula. You are awesome. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Whitney, thank you so much for the 900 jewels. I really appreciate that. X7, thank you so much for the 900 jewels for the Gamer Ghost. Oh, X7 again, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. I really appreciate y'all. You guys are doing great.
What's the conversion rate on the jewels?
Was that the most intelligent thing you had to say?
That was
Is this like
curious.
like a sex thing for you or something? You're like, oh no, you hang up. Oh no, you hang up. Oh no, you hang up. Sir, I
I've never
am
heard of
I
something like
am in a relationship. I am not interested. Okay?
Nor am I.
All right. Yeah, sure you're not. Of course you're interested in me. I'm way smarter and better looking than you, honestly. Anyways, we'll move on to somebody else. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Y'all make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And thank you guys so much for the jewels and the super chats that are coming in. It is very, very sweet to me. I really appreciate y'all. Awesome. So why is that?
I'm personally, I have a lot of friends from Israel, and he's very good for the country. Now, that's a bit selfish, though, due to my bias and my friends that live there, because it's not an America thing necessarily, but I support him on that quite a bit.
Awesome. So you support Trump for being for Israel, just like every other fucking U.S. president. Cool.
I think I would say he's a bit more, but or for sure more.
How is he more than Biden?
I'm not gonna say the okay, one thing, for example, actually letting them get this war finished up with, giving them the weapons they need to get Hamas to
What weapons?
disassemble the bombs.
What bombs?
Sorry,
What bombs?
the bombs that he gave to them.
What bombs did he give them that were different from what Biden gave him?
Sorry, what?
What bombs did Donald Trump give Israel that were different from what Biden gave him?
I think it isn't the bombs itself; it's the amount and the non-threat to not give it.
Huh?
So basically, Biden, right? So as the war started going
No,
on,
sir.
yeah, but
What weapons did Donald Trump give Israel that Biden did not already give him?
no. It's
That's
the
what I'm
same
asking you.
weapons. It was just the amount. Basically, Biden said, "Hey, I will stop giving if certain things happen," and Trump's like, "Hey, yo, bro, guys,
You
listen, I know
do
you need the
realize
job
that
done."
Israel does not in any way, shape, or form need our weapons in order to destroy a pretty much helpless civilian population, which is what they're doing, right? Like Israel is one of the largest and most pronounced, well, not largest, but most pronounced military forces in that region. They do not need our equipment. They do not need our bombs. They don't need any of our stuff. They could do everything that they're doing in Gaza, in Palestine, in Lebanon. They can do all of that stuff without our help, right?
Right.
So what are we
What are
giving
you
them
giving them?
that's extra? Because Biden gave them literally tens and tens of billions of dollars. I think total like what,
I don't think he gave
70,
them tens of
60,
billions
70
himself.
billion dollars, including that.
Biden
And
alone?
huh?
I don't think Biden gave it
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
over his one term alone.
Yeah. Actually, I was actually pretty sure I was low. That's what I was worried about, not high. I was actually giving a really conservative number.
You're saying okay over his thing. Okay, but still though, is that not a supporting Trump thing? I don't hate Biden. I don't hate other presidents here.
It doesn't sound like you have much of a dog in this fight ever. It sounds like you just love Israel, which is whatever, I guess.
Not Trump. I'm saying it's why do you support Trump? I'm saying on certain things.
Right,
Or
but you're
if
not saying you support Trump. You're just saying you
specific to
support
Trump?
every single American president who supported Israel, which is fucking all of them
Oh,
for
so
some
you're
goddamn
saying
reason.
specific to Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, the ICE, the immigration, I think he's doing pretty well.
All right. Well, he's not, but I just literally had a whole conversation about this and how wrong it was, and honestly, I don't feel like having another one.
Oh, sorry, no, I just swiped by. I didn't hear the last.
Yeah, no
one.
problem. I do encourage you to watch the replay of my live. It'll be live on, on the YouTubes and stuff like that. So
Oh,
come
right
on
when
in,
you
check it
finish
out,
the
and you can
podcast?
watch my entire dismantling of immigration that I just did on that last guy. So
Okay. And I guess to find this, I'll just bring one more thing. I don't know if you spoke about it yet. I guess it's because he's so far from the left, and now the left is doing some crazy things, in my opinion.
he's so far from the left. He's literally a fucking doing socialism with freaking Intel. He's literally doing student loan forgiveness now, which is exactly what they called anti-constitutional and socialism under the Biden administration. Where now somehow it's totally okay under the Trump administration. How is he? He's literally doing no tax on tips, no tax on overtimes, which he's not really doing, but it's, he's using parts of that. That's the Bernie Sanders policy.
You're right. I used the wrong word. It wouldn't be left. It would be more, I guess, woke crack left. That would be the correct word.
Gotcha. So just what the right has made up in order to scare you.
I don't think so. Like, I mean, I live in a pretty left state, and we have a lot of crack going on here.
A lot of crack.
Crack, like, I guess the tranny issue. I think we got to help these people out quite a bit.
Gotcha. So you're again another just scared of trans people, trans person. You're just another weird transphobic
Should
person.
we not be? Wait, is that an issue?
Is it an issue that you're transphobic? Yes, I would believe so. But I mean, that's between you and your therapist. Honestly, I don't think it has much to do with me.
Okay, listen, I guess that's a fair statement. But if there's people who are a danger to themselves and others, I think we should look into getting that fixed. No?
Yeah, sir. I already told you should go to therapy.
Okay. Yeah. I'll follow up. I'll watch. Am I able to watch it now, or I need to wait till the stream ends?
The stream's about to end anyway. Charger game already started, sir. But if you're the one that's freaking okay with the American, sir, if you're,
what team do you have for your fantasy on?
what?
What team do you have for the fantasy call?
Bolt up, baby. Let's go. Anyways, have a good day. Bye. Yeah. If you're the one that's scared of trans people, then you're the one who's a danger to yourself and others. Not me. Not the people on the left. Just you. Thank you so much, Thunder, for the $5 super chat. Thank you for confronting Trump supporters and trying to dismantle misinformation online. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm going to jump off. Charger game is starting. I love you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. I just was coming on for a quick hour because I was bored. I'm going to go order some wings and drink some adult beverages. I'll see you guys 10 a.m. Saturday morning. See you guys then. Love y'all. Have a good one, right? Bye.